Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all, and let's just get right into this review. So at the very beginning of this episode, Carly and Saucy Santana end up meeting up with Rennie to shop for baby stuff because, as you know, Rennie is pregnant and she's having a baby boy, and Carly ends up letting them know that she's actually doing IVF because she wants to have another baby. And look, I know a lot of people were in the comment section saying that Carly is too old to be trying to have a baby, but I don't believe in shaming women for what age they decide to have a baby. So if Carly does want to have another baby, I hope that it's successful, and I hope that she has a happy, healthy pregnancy. Now, we all know that Carly is messy, so she decided to catch Saucy Santana and Rennie up on everything that happened at Kirk and Rasheeda's event in last week's episode, when Jasmine ended up pulling up because Erica Banks ended up inviting her as her +1, and she started showing Erica Banks and Carly the receipts of Kirk trying to sleep with her, and Carly lets them know that she's the one that took the screenshots of the text messages that Kirk was sending to Jasmine trying to sleep with her, and she walked over and tried to show them to Rasheeda, but Rasheeda refused to look at the messages, and so she ended up asking Kirk if she could see his phone, and he told them that the messages were all deleted. So now everybody's looking at Kirk sideways because they don't understand why he has the whole text thread with Jasmine deleted if he doesn't have anything to hide. But I personally think that this whole thing is pointless with the whole Kirk and Rasheeda looking at the receipts, because Rasheeda's not going to leave Kirk even if he was sleeping with somebody right in front of her face. That's just how I feel. So I think the whole thing is pointless anyway. Now, Yandy and Rasheeda end up meeting up to have a conversation about all the drama going on with Kirk and Jasmine, and Yandy got in her confessional saying that she wants to know what Jasmine's motive is for trying to show these receipts of Kirk trying to sleep with her. Is she trying to really expose Kirk because she thinks he's wrong, or is she trying to hurt Rasheeda? And the thing about it is that Jasmine can't hurt Rasheeda because they have no relationship with each other. They didn't even know each other until Kirk came along and slept with her outside of his marriage. So the thing about it is that Kirk is the one that's hurting Rasheeda, not Jasmine. And so I don't know why Yandy said that. I don't know why she doesn't have that energy for Kirk that she has for Jasmine. Jasmine was definitely wrong for sleeping with Kirk, knowing that he was a married man, but Kirk is more in the wrong in my opinion because he was the one that was married. And Rasheeda ends up telling Yandy about how Jasmine pulled up to her and Kirk's event, showing the receipts of Kirk trying to sleep with her. And Rasheeda did say that she didn't want to see the receipts, and the reason why is because she said that if Jasmine wasn't woman enough to come up to her herself and tell her about these text messages, then she didn't want to see them. And so I thought that was a stupid reason for her not to want to see the text messages. But then again, she ends up telling Yandy that she did actually want to see them, but she wanted to see them from Kirk's phone. And because he deleted the text messages, she felt like there was something to hide. And so she said that she made Kirk sleep somewhere else that night. But Rasheeda did end up telling Yandy that she wants her and Kirk to meet up with Jasmine so that they can get to the bottom of anything. And listen, the fact that Rasheeda is even in this situation because Kirk stepped out of their marriage is crazy to me, because she shouldn't have stayed with him in the first place and she wouldn't even be in this situation. So Lil Zane and his wife Ashley end up having a conversation because he wants to plan a family barbecue, but Ashley feels some type of way about it. Not that she doesn't like Lil Zane's family, but she feels like they kind of act a certain type of way towards her. And then she doesn't fully feel comfortable because everybody knows about the situation about Lil Zane possibly having a child with this woman Michelle that he was seeing, and she said that she doesn't know if he's the father of this baby, and he said that he's not the father. He already knows he's not, but this baby has his last name, and so she feels some type of way about this, and she doesn't understand what he's waiting for to get the whole situation rectified so that they don't have to deal with it anymore and they can just move on. And I understand where she's coming from because I would just want to move on from the situation too, and I don't understand why he's waiting around to get the proof that this baby is not his, especially if this baby has his last name. But she's choosing to stay with Lil Zane even though he has her involved in all this drama. So she's kind of giving me Rasheeda vibes because Rasheeda is still with Kirk and now she's involved in all this drama that he has going on with Jasmine. And now Ashley also has kind of a similar situation going on with Lil Zane and this woman Michelle. So it's the day of Carly's event, and she just recently got engaged to her boyfriend the same day of the event, and she ended up showing off her ring because she was super excited. But honestly, it wasn't really exciting for me to watch because she's been engaged multiple different times on this show, so I really wasn't that excited to see that she was engaged again, but I'm happy for her if she's happy. Now, Amy and Yandy end up showing up to this event, and Amy starts telling them how Spice asked her to be a part of the cast album, and she's gonna be in the studio with Scrappy. Now, she is definitely trying to get back at Bambi for dealing with a guy that she dated about 15 years ago. They only slept together. They weren't actually in a relationship, and Amy was probably about 21 at the time. So I honestly don't know why she's tripping about it, because Bambi also said that she hasn't kissed this man and she hasn't slept with this man. And Bambi said on social media last week that Amy is pretending like she didn't know that she was talking to this guy, when actually Amy knew ahead of time. And so if that is true, I don't understand why Amy is acting the way that she's acting, especially because this is a guy that she slept with about 13 years ago. So if it was that long ago and all you did was sleep together, why is she so salty about this? And it's not like her and Bambi were the best of friends. Now, I personally wouldn't do it, but at the end of the day, I definitely feel like Amy is making it a bigger issue than it needs to be. I can see if she was with this guy for a really long time, or they really loved each other and they had an actual relationship. But wasn't Amy in a really serious relationship for a long time, and they were like a YouTube couple, and that was who she was serious with? I can see if Bambi went after him, then Amy would have a reason to be upset, but that's not the case in this situation. But Amy starts talking about how fine she thinks Scrappy is, and how Scrappy used to be in her DMs while he was with Bambi, but because she was cool with Bambi, she didn't answer him, but now she's been DMing him. And so she's saying that she wants to give things a shot with Scrappy because both of them are single, but Yandy ends up cutting in and saying that Scrappy might not actually be single because him and Erica Dixon have been kicking it and they've been talking, and it seems like they're trying to form a relationship again. And so Yandy basically warned her against trying to deal with Scrappy. Now, I just think it's messy of Amy to try to mess with Scrappy, because that's a completely different situation. Like, Scrappy and Bambi were married and they have 3 children together, so they still have to communicate because they have 3 small children. So I don't understand why Amy is trying to make it seem like she's doing the same thing that Bambi's doing. It's just not the case. And Carly is literally delusional because she's sitting over there egging on Amy to try to go after Scrappy to get back at Bambi. And the only reason why Carly has an issue with Bambi is because Bambi DM'd her boyfriend so that they can set up Carly's birthday party. And so Carly's sitting over there telling Yandy and Amy that Bambi wants her man. And I just honestly feel like Carly is delusional. Nobody wants that man except for Carly. Like, let's be honest. But I don't know what Yandy was talking about, because she was saying that Scrappy is madly in love with Erica Dixon, and it's like, no, he's not. He had Erica Dixon for a very long time, and he didn't even treat her right and wasn't faithful to her while he was with her. So you're going to try to get me to believe that he's madly in love with this woman. Like, yeah, right. He is not madly in love with Erica Dixon. To be honest with you, I think Erica Dixon and Scrappy flirting with each other is only for a storyline. So it's the day of Lil Zane and his wife Ashley's barbecue, and he ends up inviting his family over, and Amy ends up showing up to support Ashley because obviously Ashley felt uncomfortable being around Lil Zane's family by herself, and so she wanted Amy there to kind of have her back a little bit. But things were definitely really awkward with his family, and you can tell that his family doesn't really like Ashley because they didn't seem to really care about her feelings during this conversation, because Ashley immediately wanted to rip off the band-aid and start talking about this baby that Lil Zane might have with this woman Michelle. And basically Lil Zane's mom was being messy because she claims that she already claims this baby as her grandchild, even though she doesn't have proof that it's actually Lil Zane's baby. And she said that she actually was the one that helped name the baby. So Ashley's obviously feeling some type of way about this, and Lil Zane is sitting over there saying that he didn't even know that his mother had any hand in helping name this baby. Lil Zane is saying that he knows 100% that he is not the father of this child, and so if he knows that this baby is not his, then why doesn't he just go get a DNA test to have the proof so they can end this whole situation? But he doesn't want to do that for some reason, and I think it's because he's still messing around with this woman Michelle. Now Lil Zane's family is messy as hell because they start airing out all of his business to Ashley, because they start saying that basically Lil Zane was with this woman Michelle when he got with Ashley. So basically they said they saw Lil Zane laying up in the bed with this woman Michelle while he was with Ashley, and so Ashley gets really upset about this because she didn't know anything about this whole situation, and so she starts flipping out and she walks away. And honestly, I felt really bad for Ashley because you can tell that she feels ganged up on by this family, and Lil Zane did nothing to really have her back during this situation. And honestly, he's making her look like a fool, just like Kirk is making Rasheeda look like a fool. And so I wish she would just pull herself out of this whole situation. That way she doesn't have to deal with the stress anymore. Now, at the very end of this episode, Kirk and Rasheeda end up having a very awkward meetup with Jasmine, and basically, Jasmine ends up telling them that the only reason why she decided to expose Kirk's text messages of him trying to sleep with her is because he tried to lie and say that whenever he goes to pick up their son, she opens the door naked, basically implying that she's trying to get him to want to sleep with her, and she claims that that's absolutely not true. And maybe Kirk is lying about it because I haven't heard him say that it was true, so maybe he isn't telling the truth, but I feel like she was going to expose his messages whether he said that or not. But Rasheeda starts questioning Kirk about why he deleted the text messages off of his phone and what exactly has been going on. And Kirk is just sitting there looking dumbfounded, trying to act like he doesn't want anything to do with the situation, even though he's the one that put them in this situation because he couldn't keep it in his pants. And so he starts saying that he hasn't done anything wrong and that the only reason why he deleted the text message thread is because him and Jasmine were arguing and he didn't want that in his phone anymore. And look, I don't believe that, but at the end of the day, if it wasn't Jasmine, it was going to be somebody else. So even if he isn't trying to sleep with Jasmine, I'm pretty sure there's probably other women that he's trying to sleep with or is currently sleeping with now, because at the end of the day, Jasmine is not the only person that he cheated on Rasheeda with. So at this point, Jasmine ends up handing her phone over to Rasheeda so that she can see the text messages between her and Kirk. And right there in the text messages, it said that they were trying to sleep together for a certain amount of money. And so basically, Rasheeda gets upset and she kind of dismisses Kirk because he's not really saying much anyway at this meeting. So it's kind of pointless for him to be there at this point. But Jasmine ends up telling Rasheeda that so she doesn't have to have any communication with Kirk anymore, that she wants to have an open line of communication with Rasheeda so that she can just communicate through her instead of with Kirk. And Rasheeda didn't want any parts of that because she said that obviously this woman slept with her husband, so why would she want to be communicating with this woman frequently? And look, I'm on Rasheeda's side when it comes to this situation, because if my husband cheated on me with another woman and had a baby, and look, I wouldn't have stayed with him if he did that to me, but if I was Rasheeda and I did stay, I would not want to have communication with the woman that he cheated with and had a child with behind my back either. This is the mess that Kirk ended up making, so he's the one that should have to deal with Jasmine, not Rasheeda. And Rasheeda ends up storming off, okay, and she starts flipping out on Kirk because he put them in this situation, and he did put them in this situation, but she's the one who chose to stay with him, so that's why she's still dealing with it now. I just wish she would just end things with him, but no matter what Kirk does, she's not going to leave him. So at this point, I feel like Jasmine is really wasting her time. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.